Welcome back. I'm here with my college football analyst, Rajat Agarwal, and Cam Cieselski for a game we like to call Magic 8 Ball. The name of this game may have sparked some childhood memories, but for the purpose of this segment, the gentleman seated beside me will get an answer from the Magic 8 Ball about a certain college football idea, and you have to respond with why you believe in what the statement is. So, let's start. Ohio State quarterback Cardale Jones threw for 36 yards and 2 picks before being replaced by J.T. Barrett against Northern Illinois. Rajat, will Cardale Jones start next week? Your answer is ask again.
Asking later, I think that's exactly correct because Urban Meyer has truly no idea what to do. Both quarterbacks have not performed to what they were expected to coming into the season. And right now it's a toss-up. He said that whoever plays better will get the starting role, and neither one has established himself as a starter.
It's a week-by-week thing at this point. He's got so many options.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Cam, you have, let's see here, outlook not so good.
Yeah, I'm with the Magic 8 Ball on this one. Cardale Jones right now, he's just not living up to it. And like I just said, it's a week-by-week thing. And when you have that competition pushing right behind you, you don't have room for errors. You don't have room to have a week like Cardale Jones did.
The two-quarterback system is tricky because you have that
Right.
pressure on
It
you.
rarely works out well. All right, moving on to a guy that's had maybe a little better week, Leonard Fournette, the LSU running back. He had a career-high 228 yards with 3 touchdowns in their blowout win over Auburn. So with this past performance, is Fournette the front runner for the Heisman? Cam, your 8 ball is outlook good.
That'll look good. Yeah, I can totally see it. I can see him taking it home at the end of the year. If he consistently puts up these numbers, if he stays out of injury trouble. One thing that everybody's been talking about is a running back hasn't won since 2009. So there's always that you have to get over, going up against great, talented quarterbacks. But yeah, I could get behind that 8 ball. I'm with you on that one.
There we go. All right, Rajat, your answer is signs point to yes.
I think that's true. Right now, if you were to decide he is the front runner, I don't think ultimately he will win it because I think Ezekiel Elliott has a much easier schedule. Fournette's going to have the typical problem of a running back in the SEC. You've got all those defenses. Ezekiel Elliott playing with Ohio State. I mean, you've got a schedule that's so easy.
And like we were just talking about with the quarterbacks, if they keep having that quarterback trouble, they're going to keep going to Elliott.
Yeah.
And
So right now, yes, Fournette, but in the long run, like Cam said, you can't tell yet.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And another SEC running back, Derrick Henry's been having a great year too. You can't count him out as well. But speaking of Alabama, they were upset by Ole Miss in a 43-37 thriller. This is Ole Mill's first victory in Bryant-Denny Stadium since 1988. Wow. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And so this is their second straight victory over Alabama. So will Ole Miss be a playoff threat this year? Let's see, Rajat. Don't count on it.
Don't count on it. Oh, That's a tricky one because obviously Alabama's the big win. Yeah. Once you beat Alabama, you think coast is clear, but LSU is a huge team in the West. The SEC West is so tough.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've got Georgia coming from the East, you can't have 3 SEC teams in the playoff, and that's the issue, I think.
It happens every year. The SEC teams beat each other up, and this is a signature win for Ole Miss, but it's
got to get through LSU. You have Arkansas. Obviously, Arkansas is struggling, but any game in the SEC is tough.
It's such a long season.
Yeah, and you can't have the big win hangover. If you beat a team like Alabama, you're so pumped up, and then the next game you get shocked, something like that. All right, Cam, you are better not tell you now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were just talking about. It's a very, very long season. They play a tough schedule. Yes, this was a great win, and when they're looking at playoff teams, they're going to say, okay, Ole Miss took down Alabama. They've been so good. Maybe that's that signature win that gets them there. But with such a long season, they could drop another 2 games, in this tough SEC conference.
Exactly, and that's just the struggle with being in the SEC. Yeah. All right, moving on to the ACC, Clemson and Florida State, 2 top teams in that conference, struggled in close wins over unranked Louisville and Boston College. Yep. So this brings up an interesting question. Do you see an ACC team in the playoffs this year? We know Florida State was in it last year, but is a team like that going to make it back? Let's see. Cam, you have very doubtful.
Very doubtful. Yeah, I mean, based on this weekend, I think Magic 8 Ball, that's a great pick there. And honestly, when you're thinking about the strength of college football right now, you got the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the Pac-12, these power conferences. And, in a 4-team playoff, it's going to take a lot to sneak in. And, yeah, doubtful that the ACC gets it done this year.
All right. And, Rajat, you have cannot predict now.
It's tough to predict now because they have the potential, both of them, to pick up signature wins, obviously against each other. And then Clemson, actually, I think has a better chance because they have that Notre Dame game. Yeah. If they can beat Notre Dame, that's a signature win that will look good on their resume. Yeah. And so if Clemson can run the table, I think they've got a shot. If they don't run the table, like you said, too many other big conferences.
Yeah, right.
All right, well, looked like this 8 ball worked out pretty well for you guys. Well done. Well, that's all the time we have with the Magic 8 Ball, but I'm going to break out another 8 Ball response and say it is certain that you want to stay glued to the screen for this next segment. Ben is sitting down with our MLB experts as the playoffs inch closer.